Okay guys, so this is something interesting I want to show y'all. This right here is one of my bucket feeders I use for coon, and I got them in this one place right now. It's a little wooded area, and the deal is there's a property probably, I'll say another 50 yards back there is a property line, all right? I can't get permission on that property. There's another property over that way. Basically, I can't get permission on these deer properties. They don't want me on because of it's deer season, and it's just a weird thing. So um, they run feeders all the time. We don't really have a lot of agriculture around here. We don't really have a lot of like persimmons or natural forage. So those coon naturally they basically get on those deer feeders, and that's where they live. They concentrate over there. Well, what you can do is you can come off the property line, and I don't know how far they're traveling, but what I feel it is all the coon are kind of centered inside the property around all the deer feeders, but you do have some that kind of venture out. Well, what I do is I'll come to a little area like this that's I can get permission on. This is actually church property. There's a cemetery, part of cemetery over there, part of cemetery over there, but I can trap it. So what I'll do is I'll get one of those little Walmart bucket feeders that spins it out, and I'll set it in a little area like this for about a week. Put it really low and put it out. And all those coon know the sound down here. Most animals down here know the sound of one of those little feeders going off, right? So what I think is going on is any of them that are kind of outside of that property line, outside the core area where they're bedded, not bedded, but where most of the coon are, they hear that, and instead of fighting all the other coon for feed, they think they have another food source. So they come over here to check it out. That's where they find the feeder, and they start, walking back and forth. Well, anyway, after a week, I'll put one of these out because these cost me like $5 to make. Those feeders, those rotary feeders, are like $40. Anyway, a lot of people say that's a lot of work for a $1 coon. I mean, yeah, if you were doing strictly fur trapping, I guess it could be, but at the same time, I'm selling my coon for the meat market. I'm getting at least $10 a pop for them. No, I'm sorry, I can't really move a ton of them. So if you have a lot you want to get to me, I'm not the guy. I'm not the guy to sell them. So I do make a little decent money on them. But anyway, with all that being said, is when you get these bucket areas, these feeder areas, you're able to learn a lot about coons because I'll run a trail camera. I usually put a trail camera here, and I'll run that trail camera, check it once a week, check the bucket once a week, and saves my gas, saves my time, and I'm able to see what's coming at what density, and almost sometimes when. I can almost time them a lot of times. And the cool thing you can do with that is you can fill these feeders with various things, and you can learn a lot about coon. Now, one thing in particular I was always told is coon will eat anything, right? Coon's just going to eat anything. Um, you see people ask, what's a great coon bait? And people are like, oh, I catch a ton of them on dog food. I catch a ton of them on just corn. Just put anything in a dog proof and they'll eat it, right? Well, here's a prime example of that not being completely true, at least from my area. At least in the South. The South, we don't really have harsh winters, so they don't really need to put the fat on, so they don't just eat everything. Now, this is a 5-gallon bucket with two of these little reducers in here. It keeps the water out like that. But I filled it with, it was like probably 80% corn, 20% bird feed, and like 10% food. That's probably wrong. I'm not good at math, but you get what I'm saying. Now, this has only been out for 2 days. This was almost completely full. And if you look, they've pulled most of the corn and the bird seed out, which doesn't really bother me. This attracts other animals. Like right now, I'm doing a little test on some conibear pans right here. So this attracts mice and whatnot, which will attract other animals. But anyway, if you've noticed, they pulled all this corn out in the course of probably a night or two. And there's no dog food in here. Okay? And I didn't put a little bit. I put a good bit of dog food. There's no dog food on the ground. if you check in here, there's dog food. It's just cheap dog food, cheapest dog food I get for a 50-pound sack. And what I found is if you give them the option, especially like here we are here where they're not starving, they're not just going to eat anything. They're very selective, okay? They're not just going to eat anything you put in their face, okay? Most of them are already full. They're just coming here to get a snack. So, again, I gave them a choice between dog food, birdseed, and corn. They pulled all of this out just to get dog food. So, what does that tell us? If I just went and baited off my dog proofs with corn, and they're already coming to feeders to get corn, and you see they're doing this, is corn, it's the whole thing of, yeah, them just eating everything. Is that really true? Is that really what we want to use, or do we want something to change it up? Now, again, I'm not a massive coon trapper. I don't catch thousands of coon a year. I'll catch 20 in a year, and I'm happy. I'm not a numbers guy. I like going out. I like enjoying myself. I like catching coons. I like catching possums, and it's what makes me happy. But if I was a numbers guy, and I was trying to really key in and really get the most bang for my buck, I don't think I would be using with seeing this. I don't think I would just be using corn. I don't think I would just be using birdseed. I would be using something that's a change, something that's different. In this case, it's dog food. And I know a lot of people are going to be like, well, yeah, everybody uses dog food. Everybody uses cat food. Well, that's kind of not what I'm getting at. I'm not getting at that there's one best bait. I'm just getting at the point that, the idea that all raccoons everywhere will just eat whatever you put in front of them. Well, it's just not true. And if you don't believe me, go get one of these. Go make you up one of these feeders, put it somewhere, and just start putting different things in there and see what ends up on the ground the most. In my case, it's the corn. In your case, it might be, I don't know, sweet feed. You might put sweet feed in here. You might put corn in there, and they might go over corn over sweet feed, and so then you would fill up with sweet feed. Sweet feed is cheap, but yeah. Also got a little box right there, but yeah, it's just something I've noticed. And again, I know a lot of people are going to be like, this is stupid, this is a waste of time, just cat food and fish oil and you're done, don't overthink it. Well, again, this is kind of a, you can be as simple as you want, or you can try and actually learn from these animals. So if you ask me, this is a really cool part of trapping. That is a $30 trail camera, a $5 bucket, and I'll probably put less than, I don't know, altogether $30 worth of corn in this one feeder. And I got enough coon here, coming here every night to when I actually feel like setting this, because it's been too cold lately. It's been too hot lately for me to set. But when I set, that's one trip. And I could probably make, on all the coon that are coming here, if I gang set and catch at least most of them by using food I know they're going to go after, and not just corn, I could make $100 in one stop. And, after my gas and everything, probably that's a $50 profit. Okay? But, yeah, that's just a thought I had, and I just want to share. It's probably going to be like insane babbling to somebody, but for me, this is a great system. Furthermore, on the buckets, a lot of people say this is a lot of extra work. This is a lot of extra money for, again, $1 coon. Again, trap meat market. But the deal is you see how far I am from my car? That's my car right there. I'm not deep yonder off in the woods. I'm bringing them to me. Okay, I put these. The most work is for me is putting the spinner feeder out. That's I don't know, a 20-minute commitment to find a place to put that out, and I really don't have to look super far to find somewhere to put it, because all animals hear that thing going off. They'll come to it from a good distance off. So 20 minutes to put it up, and then I don't know, 10 minutes out of my day, once or twice a week, to come check my camera, and fill it up. That's less than 30 minutes out my day for a week. I'm not spending a lot of gas, because this is right down the road. I mean, I come home from work, I take a little detour, and it's literally, an extra 30 seconds to drive down the road to here from where I'm already going. I come here, fill up, pull my camera once a week. So I'm not just coming here checking traps, empty traps every day. Every day, I'm not doing that. So, I mean, you gotta look at it. You can't just look at it and, hey, I'm not catching a coon every day here. It's a waste of money. It's a waste of time. It's extra work. You gotta look at it a little different. So, yeah. But this is probably one of the easiest ways to trap, if you ask me, because I set this, and after I keep checking that camera, and when I see I have the amount of animals I want coming to that feeder, I'll come in here with a dozen dog proofs, gang set, and pull it. Catch all the coon I want in one night, make my little money, and there you go. And the deal is after I catch all those coon, this feeder is still working. It might be a week or two before something comes back, but again, it doesn't cost me really anything to walk out here real quick, look, okay, it's still full, get back in my car and go. So, again, I'm no big numbers guy at all, dude. I mean, I don't catch a lot at all. Never said I did. I might catch, if I catch 10 this year, I'll be pretty happy. We have a really low population here, but I got at least 5 or 6 coming to this feeder. But yeah, this is just stuff I've seen and stuff that might help somebody. Something, I don't know, you might take your kids out, dude. I mean, your kids are probably, like putting these little feeders out and, seeing what eats what. But, yeah. Anyway, I got some, I'm playing with some Conibear Bear pans right here. These are expanded pans. And, I'm trying to catch wood rats with them, so, yeah. Y'all take it easy and, just keep that in mind. Snow, what are you doing?